T-Pain, the fucking GOAT, used this I Am T-Pain app, made my first songs. I wish I had an iPod to charger for it. I could play that bitch. It was fire. Now I make music. And niggas cry about autotune, but you can't even hear it in my shit, but okay. Whatever, niggas eat dick on autotune. Autotune's amazing. Shout out to fucking T-Pain. If you're one of your favorite artists, use autotune. Even if you can't hear that robo shit, it's a autotune on there. They just tweaked it a different way. It's an artistic thing when niggas you can hear it.
Saying autotune ruined music is an exhausted argument that old people have been complaining about for the past 15 years. Their assumption is that you can use the tool on anyone's voice and it will magically make them a great singer, which is only partially true. Look at this bad singer with autotune versus a good singer with autotune.
To the fire, to the limit, to the walls. Oh, I sound good. Yeah, you know, I've been looking for you. So
basically, the tool can make a bad singer somewhat tolerable and a good singer sound near perfect. But some artists use it for creative purposes. T-Pain is the artist most commonly associated with autotune, and he is actually a phenomenal singer. He used the effect in 2004 not to be better, but to be different. During the beginning of this video, I want you to stop thinking about artists like T-Pain, Travis Scott, Kanye West, and anyone else who uses autotune as a creative effect. That's not who we're talking about.
Yeah, we're not talking about
the artists in question are the ones who are understood to be good or great singers,
but they use autotune
to achieve perfection.
They can sing, but
because there is a big problem with perfect singing. But first, a word from our sponsor, Kamikoto.
Over 800 years of Japanese technology and expertise has gone into creating the steel that makes up.
How good is that at slitting throats?
Steel is sourced from mills in Japan. It creates the highest quality steel on the planet. Each
asking for a friend, like I'm gonna kill my fucking friend. And Jesus, I'm not. I don't have friends.
Each knife is individually.
I don't have any friends.
Kamikoto is so confident about their knives that each one comes with a lifetime
guarantee. The knives are used by
Need for Speed
chefs all over the world.
Also, they come in a beautiful, heavy-duty ash wood box that makes for a great gift. The presentation is flawless. I hate cutting fruits and vegetables, but this
cut it
like butter.
Like butter.
Makes me excited to cut up my fruits.
It's fucking hot. It's fucking hot.
Kamikoto has a really exciting offer right now just for the water pack.
I'm the type nigga to cut a steak with a butter knife.
Like, that's me. With discount code PatrickCC.
That's how I get it. I get it how I live.
Kamikoto.com/PatrickCC.
That's how I'm getting it.
Use my promo code PatrickCC to get $50 off your purchase today. Thanks, Kamikoto.
It's good to note that autotune is a plugin, a program that was invented by Andy Hildebrand in 1997. The word auto is important because the program automatically perfects their singing in real time. Shortly after, another similar program was invented.
Melodyne, you can tweak
the basic goal of
whatever
tools,
little part you want. This shit is insane. That's what they use. That's what these niggas use. Juice WRLD had this shit on his shit.
The sound recording up or down in pitch to correct the error. But missing a note is not an error. It's called character, style, color, emotion. Sure, if you miss every note or are constantly missing notes, you are just bad.
These singers that you don't hear with, they use Melodyne and they shit.
Is what makes them unique. Listen to the before and after pitch correction on a great singer's voice.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Yeah, you could barely hear.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
You may not be able to hear a huge difference.
I heard that little robot
with Melodyne removes some of the soul in Bill's voice. Yeah. Here's an example that is a little more obvious.
Let me go home.
Notice how that E4 note Michael Bublé sang is a perfectly straight line? This would be like pressing down on a piano. The accuracy is next to impossible to achieve by a human.
Oh, I'm just too far from where you are.
His singing just kind of sounds like noise, like a robot, no emotion, which kind of defeats the point because it's an emotional song. Here's another example.
That's why I like when the autotune fuck up a little bit when you hear it. I love it. By the flash of a neon light. That's why people like Summers and them when they sing. You can hear it, like it's the emotion. You hear the auto-tune. Like, I don't know.
Just sounds very robotic and soulless. Now compare that to someone who is not using auto-tune. Now Freddie Mercury is considered to be one of the best of all time, but this singing isn't perfect pitch. You can see he's missing some notes, but it still sounds amazing, filled with emotion, with life. Perfect pitch removes the human element of the voice, but these days, human connection doesn't even matter. Not using autotune might actually do more harm than good. If human connection mattered, then electronic dance music wouldn't be as popular as it is. In most genres, it seems like the connection comes from the rhythm of the beat or the lyrics, rather than the actual voice of the performer. However, I think we can agree that hearing an artist perform their work with no effects makes us feel something.
It feels weird. No, it depends who you listen to, but when talented people like this, Adele, Alicia Keys and shit, yeah. It's amazing. These other niggas, ass.
There's something special about a human that can sing so well. Even singers who don't have amazing pitch are able to evoke an emotional response to the listener based on the passion they convey.
Yeah, like YNW Melly.
Tired of bezzing and running up, I gotta put the new bells inside of the freezer. Back at the trap, I was ducking the people, ducking the birds, sending
yeah, so he sings.
So you would assume that live performances is where you get to see all your favorite artists perform their songs in their natural voice.
I like that.
Maybe. Some singers are very adamant about not using autotune in live performances, but sometimes autotune is applied to their microphones without them even knowing.
Maybe out of key. Oh shit.
Yo, I know we're live right now, but I think you guys have some tune on my vocals or something.
Bieber's autotune was likely set to the wrong key, which was making his singing sound terrible. If it was in the right key, he may not have even noticed.
Off.
But does a singer using autotune live ruin the value of the performance? Is it dishonest? When you consider they have to dance, engage the crowd, and pace themselves properly for 1 or 2 hours, they get fatigued and are likely to miss some notes. So a little help from autotune isn't the worst thing in the world. Think about the big bright lights, bass blasting through the massive speakers,
do they really care?
Standing in the middle of a sea of people, everyone dancing and living in the moment. That is what makes the performance memorable. It doesn't really matter what type of music is playing or who is performing it, as long as the energy and environment is right.
His pants was white?
Don't even perform their songs.
The fuck?
They just play the MP3 version that you would listen to on Spotify, and they jump around screaming a few of the words. But rap fans still love these concerts.
Future still rap, bro.
They don't like it when you're telling the truth. I'd rather be real than
oh no, he's not.
Fans are starting to encourage the use of the effect.
Bro, Lil Baby
the
was
attitude
rapping
towards autotune varies from genre to genre. In EDM, nobody cares.
I swear Future
Daft Punk have been using all kinds of crazy vocal effects since their inception, and nobody ever mentions them. After all, it is called electronic music. In hip-hop, it was heavily rejected at first, but thanks to a few legendary artists such as T-Pain, Kanye West, and Lil Wayne, over time it became beloved. Now most hip-hop fans don't mind the use of these effects.
Jadakiss was singing and shit, niggas hated on it.
Other genres
then 50 Cent gonna start singing, and then I'm talking about without the auto-tune and shit. What up without you? Like
is where artists get the most criticism. I mean, these are some of the oldest genres, where 50, 60, 70 years ago, your performance was everything. You wouldn't have a career if you weren't a good vocalist. These days, if you don't use autotune, it might actually hurt your potential. Kids and young adults will always be deciding what the status quo is for pop culture. If you don't have a young fan base, you won't be topping the charts. Young people have been so conditioned to hearing perfect pitch for the past 20 years that when we hear something that isn't perfect, it sounds unprofessional or unfinished. Since the industry standard has been pushed to use pitch correction, you have to use it to stay competitive. This leads people to believe that it ruined the music industry. Now, the barrier to entry into the music industry is lower than ever. Anyone can buy a $50
Blue Snowball,
download or purchase a DAW and auto-tune and record a song, then post it on TikTok, go viral, and get a record deal. But is that a bad thing? If people like the song, then they like the song. Music is subjective after all. However, some artists will spend years and years mastering their craft only for it to fall on deaf ears, whereas others blow up by accident or off a gimmick. Does one person deserve more recognition than another? Should there be a new Grammy or award or category for real singers or non-auto-tune singers?
Maybe.
Auto-tune is just another technological advancement that was bound to happen. Humans are always trying to make things easier, faster, more efficient. People think that singing is just a natural talent. It mostly isn't. It takes years and years of practice and training, along with maintaining that skill. Singers are constantly...
Well, you gotta be talented. No one just like randomly start learning to sing and just became a god. They had some talent. What's it called? I was gonna say some fortuity. I don't know.
Warming up their vocals.
Something that
making sure they eat and drink
came natural to them.
And trying to maintain their skill. But if you are pretty good, or very good, or kind of
And
good.
then they got better.
Just slap a little bit of auto-tune and speed up that process.
That's what I do.
Because if you spend too much time perfecting your voice, there's a new singer that pops up every 6 months who might captivate the audience's interest. And they use auto-tune. The world is moving at an incredible pace, and greatness takes time. But people don't want to wait for greatness anymore. So most artists are not willing to take the risk and miss their chance at achieving their music dream.
Keep talking. I love autotune. I love T-Pain, what he did with autotune. A lot of these niggas now, they just, I'm talking about like basically like upload on SoundCloud. This shit is awful. This shit is terrible. Shit is bad. You could throw me in there. I don't get no fuck. But I don't sound like that. I be doing some weird shit with my shit. Like Yeet fire. He do some creative shit. Like I love that type of shit. You're like a Summers with it. It's nice. Sometimes I don't like how it sound with the auto-tune. It be doing too much and like, but I fuck with it. It's not that bad. Travis Scott, what he did with it, it's cool. It's just, I don't know. It's not ruining music. It's just some niggas making shit meaningless music. That's it. Fast food shit. That's it. Yeah, you be safe. Don't be pressed on a fucking auto-tune. Tired of niggas telling me I got too much auto-tune on my shit. But y'all be safe though. Be safe. Good day, good night. I don't know what time it is.